everybody. Welcome to Illume's Tea of Life. Illume Digital is a spiritual magazine for the age of Aquarius, bringing you empowering stories from across the world. In today's episode, we have Anne, and Anne is a very good friend of mine. And in fact, uh, our paths happen to cross in this very town that I am living in right now. So I'm very excited and thank you so much for joining me here. How are you today?
I'm doing amazing, Shubha. I'm so happy to be here and as part of this meeting, and also seeing something that we discussed, like how, like just in 2023, we were like, oh, like Shubha should do a podcast one day, and here we are. Like it's so fascinating to watch something come to life.
I
So
know,
I'm very
right?
happy to see.
I'm realizing that all things take time, right? Just like when you sow a seed, plant a seed, it takes time it to come up the ground, grow, and give you harvest. And life is that way. I'm only starting to realize that.
Absolutely. Every single thought we have is just a seed that's been planted. And the reason we always want it is because it's already happened and it's happened way bigger than we've already imagined it to be.
That is so shamanic, and this is why I really love you. And I feel that you are a shaman as well. So, okay, tell me, I mean, this is for my viewers. Tell me more about yourself. What do you do?
All right. That's a very, very interesting question. When somebody asks me every day what I do, every time someone asks me this question, I'm always experimenting with what I say. It's more like it's a curiosity, more than like not getting a reaction. It's more to do with a curiosity on how and like taking a static a survey sort of to see what people respond to.
Right.
So okay, so by day I am a consultant. I'm in the service industry
Mm-hmm.
and also the HR industry. But otherwise, I also am an energy healer and upcoming psychologist as well.
Wow, that is a very interesting mix. And I'm sure, being in such different fields, you're exposed to so many things on a day-to-day basis, which helps you, I guess, bring a very nuanced perspective to things. Won't you agree?
Absolutely, like a very broad perspective. And I'm very fortunate, like, I was not completely like, I was always avoiding getting into healing and helping people. I thought, okay, like the closest I can get to is the service industry. And I started my journey with the hotel
Mhm.
hospitality industry, only to realize that training and development, helping people development on the whole
Mhm.
has been my calling, and my journey has been something much more greater. And it's in order to connect with people, I needed to find my tribe and people like me. And that's when I also met you.
Funny how the universe works, right? It all seems very
Absolutely.
random, but it is not so random. I think it's just the way of the universe. So, Anne, I want to ask you um, this question today. What is one thing, one experience in your life that transformed you entirely or transformed your entire life?
Oh, wow, that's a very tricky question because there's just too many to choose from. Like, I would say waking up has been a very transformative, and realizing that we're all connected, even though we all have different pathways and different things to do, different ways of living. We're all, as individuals, we're all different people with unique personality, name everything together. But at the end of the day, this one experience that brought me, like, helped me realize collectiveness was when I was working in my previous company,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a thrift shop I was working for. And over there, like, how people used to, we all used to function very differently. Every single employee over there used to be very different from the other. But when we had a vision, we had an event which we needed to come together, that all of us put in our work together and our goal was collective. So that made me realize and also apply. I already knew the information which I had realized, but then it made me recognize and apply it even more to daily life, that we are all one with one way of one service. And end of the day, our goal in life is to be of service to others and help each other.
Wow. So you, working for the company and working together with such a diverse set of people, that experience led you to wake up in a sense that you realize that you are um, much more than just an individual. You are a part of a collective. Is that right?
Absolutely. And also, I think the real challenge that we all face is remembering that, like, how to keep our individuality as well as be a part of the collective.
Right, right. Absolutely, man. I mean, it is a tricky thing. I feel like the kind of society that we have grown up in, it's always been either or. Like either it's individualism, you be an individual, or you be a part of the society or collective, which is a certain way. But I feel like we have moved into a new era where we can remember, retain our individuality within the collective, within the community, and work together to create or manifest a better world for all of us.
Absolutely. That's the thing. Society or whatever has conditioned us to be a certain way and think that, okay, it's either, there's no flowing, like bridging the gaps together and
Mhm.
flowing. But that's what's happening right now. The change is happening in such a way that the gaps are being bridged and everybody's coming to the middle.
Yes, I'm very excited for it.
Oh,
Okay.
am I?
Um, what is your understanding of spirituality? What is spirituality according to you?
So, according to me, just what I said, exactly what I said, spirituality. Okay, to explain this, I'm just going to explain a little story of how I found and recognized spirituality. Spirituality to me was earlier introduced through my religion, Christianity,
Mm-hmm.
and in like every other religion, like there are different sects to it. So like in Christianity, I was raised in different types of sects. Like I was raised as a Protestant, I was raised as a Catholic, I was raised as an Orthodox. So it was everything combined. So initially, it was very difficult for me to find where I fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And despite all of that, like my biggest calling from in my religion was that the Holy Spirit always being present. So that curiosity always struck. What is Holy Spirit? What is God? And the more I grew up and I realized that as much as like really I don't believe in religion, but I believe in religious teachings
Mm-hmm.
and application of it. I realized what my religion was trying to say. The Holy Spirit is basically the spirit existing in us, our soul, or rather God existing in each one of us. So spirituality for me is being the highest form of yourself and also connecting with your higher power or higher self, and that is love. Love is the highest form of every single thing. Now, through that, you recognize the love, you recognize every person, this Holy Spirit, as they call it, is actually just God in you, living in you. So you recognize that in yourself, and you also tend to recognize that in other people around you, the collective, and you bring together, you work together with lots and lots of love. To bring that love, you need things like respect, you need to honor. There are things that gets broken down, like, but love is the core of it. It gets broken down, but then you keep working towards love. End goal is always love, and that is what spirituality means to me. It's just connecting and remembering, even not just people, with nature itself. And I think I learned that from you. I really learned that from you, to remember and connect to nature. And I'm grateful to you for that, Shubha.
My God. Thank you so much, Anne. And you said it beautifully. Love is the highest form of anything on this earth. Without love, we cannot exist. We will perish, you know. And I completely believe that God is within us, and like we are it, right? And we only need to connect to ourselves. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So, and tell me, what do you think is being human?
Oh, wow. Okay. So being human, if you were to put it like that, it is. So recently I came across something where, like, I don't know if it was one of your interviews or somewhere else. I'm not able to remember. But then somebody that I came across said that, like, being human is wearing a dress, wearing a costume. And that basically you're stepping into a role that you're going to play. So
Mm-hmm.
being human is stepping into the character, becoming that character, and also like being a person of art. I also connected deeply and thought, like, the world is a stage. We're all playing a character very deeply, and also, like, because of that, we get to experience whatever is written for us, whatever, despite it being written for us, we have the freedom of choice. So it's coming to us choosing, okay, are we going this way or that way? Even something so basic as what are we going to eat and drink today? What time are we going to get up? Every single action influences us. So being able to experience that, plus also every single thing, like, being human also means it boils down to experience, but experiencing emotions, happiness, sadness, anger, every single thing that you in experiencing friendship and family, and experiencing being able to see things around you, feel things around you. That's what makes you human. And more than anything, I think two other things is like being able to think at a higher frequency. I'm not saying that animals are lower than us or we are higher than them. We're all at the same frequency, I feel. But then we, as humans, we tend to challenge ourselves more and more. We're like, okay, what can we do better? What can we do better? What can we do better? So we have that intellect with us. So being able to utilize that for the better and coming together for that. And the biggest thing is being able to work in love and experience love. That's what makes us all human.
Wow. What an interesting perspective. And this thing that you said about experiencing, I completely agree. I often feel like especially when I'm going through some challenges and or challenging emotions, I remember that this is a part of being human, right? Sometimes, um, I mean, even though there is the understanding, the knowing of, I don't know how to put it. It's a better knowing that you have. It's the spirituality, and that's the grounding. However, when certain situations and circumstances come up, you're challenged. And I feel all sorts of emotions, and I'm like, oh my God, I know better. But still, I'm feeling all these things. And yeah, and I realized that this is the human experience, this is part of what being human means, that you go through all these motions. And just because you're enlightened or spiritual doesn't discount you from these experiences. In fact, that's what makes you more spiritual in a sense. I feel that way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like we discussed the other day. It's like you need, in order, like, I think what makes us human is like something that you and I said the other day, and like we were like on. In order to like this thing care about some, not care about something, we need to care about it a little.
Yeah.
We said it very differently the other day, but then yeah, like I'm just putting it out like this
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
people to
Absolutely.
understand. Yeah. So that's the basic human experience and remembering things, remembering our surroundings. So what you just spoke about, like knowing and also like knowing the unknown, but
Hmm.
also I think it's also like letting go. So letting go is like in order to let go, we also need to know to
Yeah.
not know. Yeah.
Oh,
Connected.
wow.
Everything is connected. Everything is comes down to the ground.
And I'm so mind blown by the fact that I have such incredible people around me who have such profound understanding of life. And it's just so beautiful. I feel so blessed right now. And I'm so glad that I'm doing this, just catching up with people that I know, because my God, y'all are so beautiful.
Right back at you. It's because you are resonating that frequency that the universe is sending all of us to you and vice versa as well. I mean, yeah, like this for us, like this call right now would be just a regular Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, I'm so glad like you started this as well. I feel like the more people need to keep talking about this, and it's also about like something that we've been discussing, and like your mentors has been having in his session, and my mentors as well,
Hmm.
taking accountability in order for us, like that's also a human experience for us to accept, be accountable, and then be authentic to it. It's
Yeah,
always a struggle, but then the struggle is also humanity, and spirituality is being able to work those three things with the struggle and move forward.
right, right on. So, and I would like to ask you the last question, which is, if you could, it's not a question really, but if you could share a message with the world today, what would be the message?
Okay, so the biggest message I have, which I keep telling everybody, and I think you tell me, I tell you, it keeps circulating. Sit in love, sit in kindness. Because there's so much happening in the world. There's so much of sadness. Now, again, sadness is not something that we shouldn't process and we shouldn't go through because it is a human experience. But there's so much of it, like we can all share a lot of love and be kind to each other. We can learn to respect one another better and understand what first, be kind to ourselves, give that to ourselves, and then to everyone around us. In order to do that, we got to see it and we got to acknowledge it, accept it, take accountability. and then be authentic about it.
Wow.
So I think being honest with how we feel, what we feel, when we feel, just being open and being honest is one form of love that you can do with yourself and everyone around. So to whoever's watching this, I'm gonna say that, hey, you deserve the world, you deserve a lot of love, you deserve a lot of kindness, you deserve whatever you want, and you said. And do not limit yourself to thinking, okay, this is it. I've had this one thought, this is going to be the rest of my life, because you don't know what's in store for you. None of us do. The world keeps changing, the world keeps evolving, and whatever we've thought of, just a tiny grain is what we've thought of, an idea of something that we want to do, what we want to experience, even if it's a friendship, relationship, family, or career, anything at all, or even traveling. What God has, the higher power, the universe, whatever you call it, has in plan for you is much bigger, and we wouldn't have even imagined or thought of it. And that's what. And if you have any struggles with it, Shubha's always there. Shubha's a great shaman and a mentor. So you can always go to her and get whatever
And
help
you
you
are
need.
there as well. And you are an energy healer, you're a tarot reader, and you are an absolutely brilliant one. And you are a prophet. Like, there are so many things that you've said that has come through. Just remember the journal entry that I sent you. That was crazy, right? 25th of December, you said
Oh,
things will happen, and it did
yeah.
happen. So thank you so much. And that's a very encouraging and empowering message that you shared here today. And folks, if you enjoyed this interview and if you'd like to know more, listen to more of people's profound understanding of life and humanity and spirituality, please subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much for being here today. And check out our magazine, Illume Digital. The link will be in the description box below. And thank you so much, Anne, for joining me here today. I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.